Here we have the Royal Enfield Bullet 350. I've been excited about this bike since it came out. It's a truly beautiful motorcycle, and in today's video I'm going to give it a full review. In 1932 the Bullet made its debut, and in 1948 they arrived at the Colmore Cup trials with an invention that changed motorcycling forever, and that was the swing arm suspension. Now this Bullet 350 really pays homage to its ancestors, and it's very similar looking to the previous Royal Enfield Bullet 350. It's really a stunning motorcycle, so let's go into some details. The Bullet handles lovely. It really is a nice bike to ride on the country lanes, in the twisty stuff. It just is at home. The suspension's very forgiving, so if you live on some bumpy roads and that's where you ride very often, then you won't have any issues with this bike. It soaks them up really nicely, and it's not too soft either, so it's just right. The brakes are decent. You've got a single disc brake on the front and the rear. The stopping power is perfectly adequate for the speeds you'll be doing on this bike, so no issues there, although I did find I had to really pull in the front brake to get the best out of it. But this is a brand new motorcycle. It's done barely any miles, and it's literally just come out the box this week, so it's probably just not worn in yet, and that's the reason behind that. So no issues there. Really nice handling bike. If you're looking at one of these, you may well be looking at the older Bullets or an older Royal Enfield or any second-hand motorcycle or vehicle for that matter. And if you are, I don't know about you, but I like to know the full history of a vehicle before I buy it. Or perhaps if you've got a vehicle already and you want to know the true history of it, then the best place to go is Car Vertical. Now, I've got an example of a report here where you can see everything is a green tick apart from the financial legal status and damage. So this vehicle was marked as a scrap, as a KTM here, and damaged twice. So a write-off in 2016 and 2020. And the best part is you can see photos of the vehicle at the auction website, and this is really is in bits. So I'd avoid buying this one, but you can see information like that on any vehicle. All you need is the VIN number or the registration plate, and you can find out all these details, and it scans through loads of different databases that you wouldn't have access to. Now, if you're interested in doing a report, click the link in the description and use my code Mr. Darcy for 10% off. As I arrived at the dealership this morning, this beautiful machine was parked out the front. This particular one is in the black gold colourway. There are two other colours. The other colours are cheaper than this one. This is an upgrade colour, but it's only £80 more. The other two are £4,629. This one is £4,709. So what a load of motorcycle for the price. A brand new motorbike for under £5,000. It's remarkable, really. Royal Enfield just do it again and again. They really are the best at providing value for money. Do excuse if you can hear some clattering gates. I'm in an active stables and there's some big iron doors which keep making loads of noise. I'd like to say a big thank you to Superb Motorcycles for letting me ride this bike today. They're a fantastic family-owned business, and they have some wonderful motorcycles in there. And if you speak to Ian or Jack, they are the friendliest guys you could ever meet, and they're more than happy to help you out. So if you are looking for a dealer to buy one of these, I'd highly recommend Superb. The engine in the Bullet 350 is the same 349cc single-cylinder air-cooled motor that you find in the classic 350. And both myself and the old man really love this engine. It is a fantastic thing to look at. It truly is a work of art. It's beautiful, no matter what colour it is in, whether it's in the brushed metal or the black like we have here. It really is a good looking engine from both sides, which is not very common. Normally the left side's pretty ugly and the right side looks all right. Not on this bike. And in terms of power and torque, it is a low powered bike. I mean, it produces 20.2 brake horsepower at 6,100 RPM and 27 Newton meters of torque at 4,000 RPM. And this is not a bike to buy if you want to go fast. It just totally isn't. So if that's what you're looking for, don't look at this bike. But if you want a bike for trundling along the country lanes, going through the city, pootling along in and out of traffic, then this is perfect. It's all the power you would need for doing that. But if you want to go on some open roads and really open the bike up, then this probably isn't the bike for you. The power delivery and the torque is very linear. Low down in the RPMs, it pulls very nicely, so there's no dips in the RPM range where it's a bit sluggish. It pulls linear throughout, so I've got no issues with this engine. I would like to see a version of the Classic or the Bullet with maybe a 500cc engine or 650, but maybe that's in the pipeline. No Royal Enfield, it probably is. The Bullet 350 really is a back to basics motorcycle. There's no modes, there's no rider aids apart from the necessary ones. It makes a lovely characterful noise from that single cylinder engine, a lovely deep thump, which I love about this bike. And if you took the baffles out or put an aftermarket exhaust on there, it really would sound lovely. So this bike really is full of character and it keeps you grinning without needing to go really fast. They really have nailed the styling on the Bullet. I don't think there's a single thing on this bike I would change. One of my favourite things is this front mudguard. It's a proper classically styled mudguard and it covers most of the wheel, which means that on a day like today where we've got quite a few showers and it's wet on the roads, most of the engine has got no mud on it, just the tiny bit right on the bottom. So that means less cleaning, and a lot of modern bikes these days have got this tiny little mudguard about that big, a foot long, and you might as well not have it at all. It just doesn't offer any protection on the bike for mud. So I wish more bikes would have a lovely classic mudguard like this, which actually has a function. This front headlamp is beautiful. I love this little cowl here, which is very nice quality. You've got a USB port on the handlebars, fantastic. So if you use your phone as a sat nav, you can plug it in up there. Not a silly USB under the seat, which you can't use. The fuel tank is a stunning shape, really beautiful. And the badges are all lovely quality. Everything's nice quality on this bike. You've got this seat on here, which is a new seat. It's nice and padded. So for longer journeys, I'd be very comfortable with this seat. Absolutely fantastic. As I said before, the engine is absolutely beautiful. And this rear mudguard is, you've got this sort of jagged shape there, which looks nice. So everything about this bike is stunning. There's a bit of a pigeon infestation in here, so I hope none of them poo on me or the bike or the camera. Fingers crossed. The capacity of this fuel tank is 13 litres, and Royal Enfield claim it will do about 107 miles per gallon UK gallons, which is about 95 US gallons. So remarkable fuel economy. So if you're looking for a cheap bike to buy, to run and to insure, this is an ideal motorcycle. To keep the costs down, which is certainly a necessity these days, then this is an ideal bike for you. You've got 5 gears on the Bullet 350. You don't need a 6th gear. 5 is plenty for this bike. At 60 or 70 miles an hour, it feels very stable, so I've got no issues with that. This seat on the pillion side, it's also extremely padded, so I'd be more than happy to take a pillion, even if you had someone who's quite large. 2 large people would be fine on this, and for a longer journey, that is ideal. It comes with a centre stand as well as a side stand, so for maintenance it's a lot easier. You can just pop it up on the centre stand like I have here. It's got an 805mm seat height, and I am 6'1". This is what I look like on the bike, so it's a very comfortable riding position. It is a small bike, it's not a big thing, but it's only a 350, but it's perfectly comfortable for someone over 6 foot. It's probably more suited for someone within sort of 5'5" to 6 foot. But if you are over 6 foot, you can ride it perfectly easy. It weighs 195 kilograms, so it's pretty light and easy to maneuver. So if you do sort of struggle maneuvering big heavy bikes, that won't be a problem on this machine. For me, I could do with the mirrors being a little bit wider, but if you've a slightly narrower frame than me, then you won't have any issues. So, in conclusion then, Royal Enfield have smashed it out of the park again. This is a fantastic motorcycle, a truly beautiful machine with oodles of character, as you would expect. And I could just sit and look at this bike for hours and hours. I would think it would make a nice living room ornament if you have a really large living room. But it's a bike that you could just ride all the time, no matter the weather, and just enjoy being on 2 wheels, explore the world, get out in the countryside, take it all in, and just have a great hoot on this machine. So for under 5 grand, what an amazing motorcycle. If you've ridden one of these or you're thinking of getting one, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and leave a like and subscribe for plenty of videos coming up.